Hey, good morning, guys. Today is the day that we're going to get one of our first harvests out of the garden. The garden itself is doing pretty good, but not a whole lot to harvest out of there yet. We've gotten one ripe tomato, and the peas. The peas are done. We did get a harvest of peas, but everything else is just kind of just getting going, except for my potatoes, and my potatoes look like they're done. I'm not an expert on growing potatoes. I tried just planting them in this little box right here and letting them go. They bushed up. I mean, they looked great, but now all the vines have kind of died off, so I think it's time to go ahead and harvest them, and I'm going to bring you guys along. This will really be my first potato harvest, so we're going to see how it goes. Anyway, let's get to it. All right, well, as you can see, the I don't know how many potatoes are going to be in here. I have no idea, honestly. Don't know what to expect. I'm not, like I said, I'm not an expert at growing potatoes, so I'm just going to go through here and try to loosen all this dirt up and see if I can't get some potatoes out of here, see what we get. There's nothing on that vine. That one's done. I don't know if there's anything underground or not. Oh, that doesn't look good. That's a rotten potato. Look at there, little bitty tiny potatoes. Little bitty tiny ones. Hardly worth it. Yeah, these are like pebble-sized potatoes. I don't know what I did different, what I did wrong, but yeah, that's not. There's another one. I mean, these are tiny. There's a green one. Green one's no good. I don't know, this may have been a bust. May not have been a good choice. I'm gonna have to research potato growing a little bit more. Oh, there's one. There's a decent one. Not bad. But definitely not the harvest I was kind of hoping for out of these. I was like, I don't know if there's any more in there. That's a rock. That's a rock. Is that a potato? I don't know what that is. Well, so far, there's not a bad potato. It's not a great potato. I don't remember what kind I grew. I guess probably should. I do have track of that somewhere. I need to go look at it. I may have to try a different kind. I don't know. I don't know if the conditions aren't right. I don't know. They you know, like I said, they just bloomed up and looked like just fantastic. I mean, they were huge, big plants. I had a real hopeful that I was going to get. Oh, there's one. Not bad. I mean, not a big roasting potato or anything, but it's all right. There's another one. Nothing great big. And there's another little one. These would be good little potatoes to, you know, just roast up whole, basically. But yeah, not going to be a huge, bountiful harvest. There's one. That doesn't look bad. There's another one. Look at that. Got a couple more. Oh. Probably should put some gloves on. I'm going to have dirt all through my fingernails, but that's okay. And there's a tiny one. Little bitty tiny one. And a couple more little small ones. We'll see. We'll see if I get anything more out of here. All right, let me get a couple things out of the way here. I don't know if you guys need to watch me dig up every single potato in here, but so far I've got maybe a quarter of it, and just got a handful of little potatoes here, so we'll see what else we can come up with. I see a few in there. This may not be a bust of a harvest after all. There's an earthworm. There's another. Ooh, that one's been chewed on by something. Well, that's not too bad. I'm not terribly disappointed. I'm getting a bunch of these little oh, about that size potatoes. Those will be tasty, but I don't think it's anything to brag about. Is that a potato or a rock? That's a rock. There's another one. There's a couple more right there. And 3 more. Yeah, this isn't terrible. I mean, I'm getting a whole bunch of potatoes about this size right here. That's not bad, actually. It's not, like I said, it's nothing to brag about. I'm definitely not an expert on growing potatoes. It's the first time I've done it, so I don't know exactly what I need to do different next time, but there's one. But let me go ahead and get these harvested because, again, you don't need to watch me pull up every single one of these. I'm just going to be digging through this bed, finding potatoes, basically. And then I'll come back and I'll show you kind of what we ended up with. I am getting a whole bunch of these tiny, tiny ones. There's just nothing to them. But a few decent potatoes. Let me go ahead and get this done. I'll come back and we'll see what the final harvest looks like. All right, well, I got that done. I had a couple of potatoes that just, they got up to the surface, turned green. What I did not do, and just a couple, I mean, it wasn't very many, but what I did not do is mound these up as they continued to grow. It just kind of got overgrown and I just kind of let it go. And it wasn't too bad, really. I mean, this dirt's pretty loose. So I had maybe 4 or 5 little potatoes that got up to the surface, turned green, but the rest of them were just fine. Didn't get a super harvest out of this. I had a couple that were mush, been eaten by something, I don't know what. They look disgusting, so they're gone. Probably grubs. I did find a few June bug grubs in there as I was digging through, or June bugs. I guess they were turning into June bugs. Lots of earthworms, so that's good. Let me go get this dumped in the compost pile. I'll come back and I'll show you the harvest. All right, well, got that all taken care of. I'll wash these off a little bit. Wash my hands off a little bit too. Yeah, I might have to go in and scrub them. Anyway, like I said, not a terrible harvest. Let me get these washed off just a little bit. So, that is the harvest I got out of there. Like I said, lots of these potatoes have been chewed on by something. Little holes on. I don't know what's chewing on them. I don't know a whole lot about growing potatoes. So this is kind of a new experience for me, but that's not great. We got maybe 5 pounds of potatoes. I mean, not a huge harvest out of them for sure, but worth trying again. Let me take you around and show you the rest of the garden here, see how things are going there. I've had lots of people ask about it lately. I don't know if I'm all in camera or not, mostly in camera. This is all my my squash, my zucchini right here. It's looking pretty good. I got a little bit of blossom end rot on some of that. I probably should trim back some of these leaves, open it up a little bit. But the new fruit coming in looks pretty good. I know you can't see it. It's not very long yet. It's about like that. So in the next day or two, that's going to be harvested. Got hung up there. And then we got summer squash over here, which isn't producing a whole lot just yet. I got some kind of squash plant over there. I don't remember what it is, but you might be able to see it. It's just growing like crazy. I mean, it's planted over here, and it's grown all the way up over the fence. I don't know what that is. It looks like the birdhouse gourds. It was a mystery squash, but anyway, this was part of my free plant harvest that I got from my friends over in Webb City, neighboring town, viewers of the channel, and have become friends, the Randalls. And they ended up, you guys probably saw all that video. They ended up, giving me a bunch of free pepper plants, tomato plants, these squash plants. So really helped me out quite a bit. Let me show you around a little bit more. All right, so you can probably see the peppers look great. Not a whole lot on them yet. I've harvested a few jalapenos. I do have some banana peppers here ready to harvest. This is like super chili, some kind of, I don't know what it is. Here, I'll show you. Super chili. Again, I don't know what that's going to be yet. We're going to try that out. I got a bunch of green peppers on there, just waiting for them to turn a little bit red. They look almost like a Thai chili or something. It's just a bunch of little peppers. Let me bring you in close. I'll show you what I mean. It's hard. Look at that. A bunch of little bitty green peppers that, once they turn red, I'm going to try them out, see how hot they are. But it's called a super chili. I don't know. We got, let's see, what is this? This is jalapeno. I think this is jalapeno. A couple of jalapenos. That looks like, I think that's a habanero right there. I don't remember what that is. I got another super chili down here somewhere. Now those are snacking peppers. Those are those little lunchbox snacking peppers is what they are. Anyway, the peppers are doing great. Just waiting for them to kind of ripen up. We got okra right here. It's doing well. It just hasn't got there yet. It's just, we got a late start. Cucumbers are really starting to take off. Let me take you down here and show you the cucumbers. It won't be long. We'll start getting some cucumbers out of here. I need to get these vines back anyway and train them back up this trellis. But yeah, this has just been in the last week or two that they've really started taking off, and you can see I got plants, I got blooms on them, so those will be cucumbers in the next, couple of days, week. Let's get this one off. It's starting to climb a tomato cage. Get back over here. Climb this one instead. Sorry, this is probably a shaky video. I'm trying to do it handheld. Anyway, I just picked that vine up, stuck it back up on there. So, and then we got tomatoes. I can't remember. I'll have to look back at what kind of tomatoes these are. Loaded with green tomatoes, just none of them ripe yet. We've gotten one ripe tomato off of them, but nothing ripe. These are a dual purpose, so they work for fresh slicing. They make a decent slicer, pretty good slicer really, and can also be used for canning. I've got some Mortgage Lifter Reds down here. This is a Mortgage Lifter Red, and this one's looking pretty puny. I think it's got some blight. I need to go in and trim off the dead stuff and get rid of that. I may have waited too long. And then this is a cherry tomato down here, so it's got a bunch of little green tomatoes all over it that we're just waiting on ripening. We got our lettuce I haven't pulled out yet. It's all bolting. Spinach, same thing, it's bolting. The peas are done right here, and I got some more peas back over there where the squash plant, whatever kind of squash that is taken over. That thing is crazy. I mean, it has taken over that whole section of the garden. It's grown up all over everything. I don't know. Hopefully they're good, because it sure is taking up its own fair share of real estate. And then green beans down here. What I'm going to be doing, if I can find time and motivation, is I'm going to pull out all this right here, and this is all going to be planted with green beans, so I have plenty to can. But this is my first harvest of green beans coming up. They're blooming, but I don't have green beans on them yet, so I haven't had to be able to harvest any of them yet. But it won't be long. They're getting close now. And then we got some volunteer dill down there at the end. I don't know if you can see that. That just came up on its own. Let me take you down here. The only problem is it's already starting to bolt. My cucumbers are nowhere near ready, but that's okay. We got more dill planted, so we'll be able to use that. Now, what's interesting about this is, like I said, this just came up on its own. We didn't plant this. It just came up on its own. I think we'd planted some there last year or the year before, but there's no caterpillars on them. Usually I have problems with my dill with the black swallowtail caterpillars, and I don't mind them. They do a number on the dill, but they don't usually eat it all. But there's not a one on here. I don't know why. I don't know if maybe they're focusing on the others, or it's too early in the season or something. It's been a weird season. It's been, unseasonably cold and rainy, but yeah, look at that. I got cucumbers starting. I can see the little baby cucumbers. I'll have to keep an eye on this. Cucumbers, they'll go from that little baby stage to just, great big like that, huge cucumbers in like just a day or two. So I'll have to keep an eye on that. But again, here's this squash plant that's just going crazy. It's got a ton of squash on it. I don't know what they are. I'm gonna have to look them up and find out. And then let's see what we got down here. We got some squash starting down there. Just And a little bit of blossom end rot on a couple of them. It's probably poor pollination. Like I said, I need to cut off some of these bigger leaves and open that up a little bit, give it air to breathe. There's more blossom end rot down there. So I need to do that probably pretty quick. Let me get this camera back on a tripod so I can talk to you guys. All right, so you can see, whew, it's hot. Already, it's early in the morning, but it's hot. Today's July 4th. So we're, fairly late in the season, what you would consider normally fairly late in the season, but, this is really like, I don't know, early June is kind of what I expect my garden to be like this. We got a late start on the garden this year. It was so cold, so rainy for such a long time that the season just got pushed back. So right now we're still getting, we had just a week of rain, which usually is more like late May, early June. We don't usually have that kind of weather this late in the year in July. So, I mean, there's some good and some bad that comes with it. I haven't had to water. Everything, is for the most part growing really well. It's just we're way behind on production. Usually I've gotten several harvests out of the garden by now, and I've gotten just barely anything. But it's not going to be long. That's the way the garden goes. You got nothing, then you got just too much. You can't keep up with it all. So it won't be long. This stuff will be taken off, and I'll be out here having to harvest every single day. I do have some peppers I could harvest now. Probably need to get those. Okra will be not far behind. It's getting pretty good size now. It's got maybe another foot or so to go, so I would expect, maybe 3 more weeks, and we'll start getting some pretty good okra harvests out of it. Anyway, I guess that's it for today. So if you guys know great tips on, planting tomato or growing potatoes, let me know in the comments down below. I know I've been terrible about responding to comments lately. I'm working on that, trying to fix it, but I do read the comments. They come through my email and I do read them. I just don't, usually they come through at a time where I just don't have a time to go to respond to them, and then I just get mixed up with other things. I just haven't been responding to comments lately, so I'm sorry. Oh, the garlic is ready to harvest. Just reminded me, I got the garlic flowers over here. I didn't cut the scapes off and they're going to seed. I think I'm gonna change up my garlic anyway. So I'm gonna harvest all this stuff, but I don't think I'm gonna keep this garlic. It's not strong enough for me. I like a good, strong, flavored garlic, and this stuff's a little mild, so I think I'm gonna change it up and get a different kind of garlic to grow this year. I need to get on it, because it's getting late in the season, and I need to get that stuff planted. Well, I got till, late September before I need to plant it, but I need to get it ordered, or nobody's gonna have any in stock. So anyway, back to what I was saying. Again, if you know great tips on growing potatoes, something I need to do differently, or a specific variety that's great to grow, let me know in the comments down below. I'd appreciate that, because potatoes are something new to me. I'm not terribly disappointed with the harvest I got, but it wasn't fantastic. So I'm gonna try again next year with a different kind, I think. Anyway, thank you guys for watching, for coming along with me. Hopefully you enjoyed it. And as always, God bless.